welcome to Gentle Lunchtime Flow. I'm happy to be here with you. And so for the beginning of class, we're just going to come into a seated position. I invite you to bring a blanket or some books or a towel underneath your sit bone in order for you to raise them and neutralize your pelvis. And then I invite you to come into an easy seated position. So Sukhasana, which is easy pose, where we sit up straight and your heel touches your shin, so that you can gently come into this position. Or if you want to tuck your foot underneath your thigh here or your leg here, that's an option. Just please refrain from crossing your ankles because that can be damaging to them. If you want to come into a half lotus, you can tuck your foot into your hip flexor area, or if you want to come into a full lotus, you can bring both of your feet into your hip flexor areas, or if you want to sit on your knees, that's an option as well. I don't see any injuries in the box, so at any point in the practice, just please remember to honor your body's innate wisdom, and if there's pain at any time, absolutely come out, and you're more than welcome to unmute yourself. If you need just any additional assistance or modifications with the position, I'm happy to try and work with you virtually. Again, it'll be like this new dance that we work on together, since it is on a screen and not person to person physically. But with that, we're going to work on some hips and hamstrings today for our gentle practice. And so again, I invite you to find a comfortable seated position and we'll come into our attention setting. And inhale, you can close your eyes. Welcome. And wow, okay. Allow the sound of the singing bowl to enter into your awareness. If you've just started, we're starting with a mindful intention setting, mindfulness practice. So just allow yourself to focus on the sound of the singing bowl and note when you can no longer hear the sound. So allow the resonance to just wash in around your consciousness or awareness. Taking a nice deep breath in and simultaneously shrugging your shoulders to your ears. Allow your shoulders to squeeze for some proprioception. And then exhale, drop your shoulders by your side. Inhale, shrug your shoulders to your ears and squeeze. And exhale, drop your shoulders by your side. Inhale, shrug your shoulders to your ears. And exhale, drop your shoulders by your side. And allow your hands to come in a state of receptivity if your palms are up. And if your palms lie facing down, that's a state of grounding. And if you want to work with the downward movement of your Apana Vayu, you can place your thumb and your pointer finger together, extend your hands, and then place your palms down. And if you don't want to do that, inhaling your spine straight, so straightening, getting a little taller. And then exhale, dropping your shoulders ever so gently further away from your ears. Coming in a space to naturally observe the natural cadence and rhythm of your breath. We're going to give our brain proprioceptive awareness by approximating our body in space, which enables our brain to feel safe. And so place your attention to your left hip bone and draw a line from your left to your right hip bone. And allow yourself to, again, approximate the space between your left and your right hip bone. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate, just feeling into what that distance is. Again, that can help give our brain information. And then we're going to work on opening the valve system in our pelvic floor, so much like we have valves in our heart and our throat, in order to move energy and help, especially with the throat and the heart, with that cellular respiration and allowing things to move. We're going to work on our pelvic floor in order to help multiple valves open. And so instead of rocking your pelvis back and forth, this is a very micro movement. We're going to use a butterfly effect. So you're going to just imagine with your hips, you're going to open like a butterfly and then exhale, close. And just allow yourself to feel your pelvis slightly opening and closing. Very gentle movement. Beautiful. Come to a static position and inhale your spine a little taller. And bring your attention or awareness to your heart, this place of giving and receiving, our circulatory system. Allow yourself to feel the beat of your heart without actually physically palpating or touching it, but with your awareness. Now, think of someone or something that you truly deeply care about, love. Imagine you're at this place or with this person. And as you inhale, you allow yourself to receive love or warmth that enters into your heart, expanding your heart. And exhale, you return that, you reciprocate that feeling to this person or this place. Inhaling, really giving yourself deep. Then again, exhaling, returning that sensation, that feeling of love to whomever you're visualizing. Again, we're working in this circulatory motion. Inhaling, allowing, practicing, receiving, and exhaling, offering that back to this person. Beautiful. Now, again, bringing your attention to your heart, think this person or place, imagine them dissolving in a beautiful pink or gold or whatever. Um, And then think of an intention or a goal you'd like to set for your days, weeks, months, years ahead. Doesn't matter how large or small. And with this goal or intention, ask yourself, how would attaining this bring me joy? Then I invite you to ask yourself, how would attaining this bring service or joy to the lives of others? Allow yourself to really feel the sensation and emotion behind attaining what it is you're setting out to achieve. And then imagine placing this intention maybe into a seed or a kernel. And as you inhale that seed or kernel into the garden of your heart that you've tilled with gratitude and love. And as you exhale any resistance. Locate the quality that would help nourish or nurture this. And inhale that in. And exhale any grasping to the attainment of this or the outcome. Inhaling what you need to cultivate this in an easeful way. Exhaling any resistance, and then bring your hand on your heart and your left hand on your heart and your right hand over your left. And allow the sound of the singing bowl to symbolically seal this in and also to initiate the start of our asana practice. Start with some gentle neck rolls, any direction you choose. If you're just joining us, welcome. Please get 2 blocks, a strap, and a blanket. And if you don't have that, get 2 books and a towel. Reverse directions. Okay, beautiful. You can bring your head to a static position and inhale, your arms looking up, and then gently twist to the right. So your left hand on your right knee, and then allow your spine to get a little straighter. Inhaling deeply, and then exhale, twist to the right. Inhaling your arms back to center. And exhale, twist to the left, right hand on your knee, left hand behind you, levering or leveraging your spine straight. Inhaling deeply. And exhale, twist to the left. Beautiful. Inhaling back to center. Bring your peace fingers together. Exhale, look down and bring your hands to the base of your spine. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling down, looking at your heart, bringing your fingers to the base of your spine. And from here, remove the peace fingers and interlace your fingers. And then gently press down on the base of your skull. And bring your elbows in towards your face. And then inhale, open your heart, open your elbows, look up. And then exhale, close your elbows in towards your ears and look down. Inhale, open and look up. Exhale, concave your stomach, bring your elbows in and look down. Inhale, expand, and then exhale, bring your hands by your side. You can remove the blanket underneath your sits bones. And go ahead and grab a hold of your knees. We're gonna make circles with our torso. If you have attended my class, you're very familiar. This is probably one of my favorite joint release moves because it's really helpful in lubricating our lumbar spine reverse directions. And we have so much pressure on our lower, right, this lumbar spine that supports all of our upper body, really, right? And is this foundation for the lower. And so it's nice to just get some movement in here in order to help with that synovial fluid so that we can not be like, the Tin Man and Wizard of Oz or something. We need to be oiled. Okay, beautiful. Come to a static position. Go ahead and bring your legs out wide, and then we're gonna open our arms. And so I don't know if this is a pot of soup or a cauldron or big churner. We're making butter or soup or something. This gets into our hamstrings and our adductors, and also again helps with our lower back reverse direction. Beautiful. You can come to a static position and then go ahead and extend your legs. If you want to grab a strap, you're welcome to grab a strap. You don't need to. And we'll just sit in Tadasana, so staff pose for a moment. Go ahead and flex your feet so that your heels are off of the floor. And then point your toes, flex, and point, and flex, and then scrunch your toes and open them so that we can give our toes a little movement. Our poor toes, they support us through so much. We forget about them. So we see you. Great. Okay. And so then we can inhale up. We're going to come into a seated forward fold. So inhale, straighten. As we hinge at the hips with our spine straight, we're going to come into an extension. We'll just fold forward for a seated forward fold. And any kind of a forward fold, whether it's standing or seated, is really helpful for your digestion. So it's a nice practice. Maybe if you want to do like a ragdoll or Paschimottanasana, what we're doing right now, it can just be helpful if you're maybe having some digestive issues. And then breathing for a few minutes in it, as well as a nice gentle hamstring stretch. And then we'll inhale and come into a reverse plank. So bring your fingertips are in the same direction of your toes. Lift your pelvis, look up. Few breaths here. And then exhale, come into a seated position or Tadasana, staff pose. And then we're just going to do a simple flow where we're going to alternate back and forth between inhaling, exhaling. So actually, let's do that together. So inhale straight, exhale, come into seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Inhale, come into reverse tabletop. Exhale, seated forward fold. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, seated forward fold. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, Tadasana. So come to a seated position. And from here, we're going to take our block or our books, if you have books, and our strap, or if you don't have a strap, a towel, and we're gonna come into a little bit of hamstring work. So roll down with your knees bent, and then just bring your block next to you and your strap next to you. And just go ahead and feel the small of your back currently on your mat. Maybe feel if one hip is higher than the other. So just feel our lumbar spine, that small of your back for the moment. Beautiful. And then take your block. So inhale, lift your posterior up. And take your block and put it underneath you for a supported bridge. Okay, you want your sacrum, that upside down triangular bone that's in between your hips on your lower back, to rest on this block. Or if you have those two hard books, go ahead and bring those books underneath you, because this pressure can help dislodge any kind of tightness or stagnation or such ki, prana, what have you, in this area. All right. Now, if you do have a block, I suggest you bring the block to the middle height. Again, still on your sacrum. If you don't have a block and you have books, like if you have multiple, add a book, or you don't have to, so it's totally fine. Then go ahead and grab your strap or your towel and lift your right foot. So bend your right foot in and bring your strap on the sole of your right foot. And then you're going to extend, once you're balanced, your left leg. Can you see that? Okay. All right. If you need this bent, go ahead and keep it bent, because you want both of your hips to be stationary and resting. You don't want one hip off of the block. You want both of them to rest. If they can rest in a stable position and both legs are extended, fabulous. If one knee needs to be bent, that's cool too. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to bring your foot towards your face to whichever degree is best for you today. This is a really nice hamstring stretch, but in addition to the hamstring, it's also a really nice release for your psoas. And if you're wondering about the psoas, it's this deep muscle right here, right around your hip flexor, that comes down into your lumbar spine to provide support. So it's a very deep, helpful muscle into our hips, and well, really, and that lower back. And if you need a more intense hamstring stretch, go ahead and flex your right foot. So the foot where the strap is, flex that. We'll be here for a little while, because in addition to working with our hamstrings, we're also working to help release the fascia. So the fascia is the encasing, that really like thin encasing around our ligaments in our entire body and our muscles, and it keeps everything together and supports our movement patterns, be it adaptive or maladaptive. Traditionally, when you're holding a position, and if your knee is a little bit bent, by the way, that's also absolutely fine. Again, you want to work with whatever your body is saying to you today. Sometimes it's bent knee, sometimes it's straight. So Again, honor and listen to that. Okay. Releasing your foot just a little bit, so lowering it just a little bit, and then inhale, bring your foot closer, and then bring your foot out to the right a little bit. So we're getting into these micro movements are helping us get into different parts of our hamstring. And then inhale your leg back to center. And exhale, bring your leg a skosh, like an inch or so toward the left, so the inside. Then inhale back to center. We'll take 5 more breaths here. And then go ahead and bend your right knee and remove the strap. Just take a hold of your right knee. If you're on books, it'll probably be more towards your chest. And if you're on the block, it's kind of like almost going toward, I don't know, off of the mat or like towards your armpit or something. So go ahead and hug yourself. Beautiful. Exhale and release your right leg down to the mat, and then bend your left foot so that both of them are situated on the floor. Both knees are bent. And just feel both sides of your lower back, your hips, right? Notice if there's any difference. Oftentimes, when we move or walk, we favor one side of the body to another. And so when we're allowing ourselves to be a bit stagnant, it's quite curious to just notice how our body's responding to different movements. Go ahead and bend your left knee. Take the strap around your left foot or the sole of your left foot. And then bring it to your face. And if you're comfortable, go ahead and extend your right leg. And if your right foot wants to splay out a little bit, then that's fine because we're allowing our psoas to release. Inhaling deeply, and as you exhale, bring your leg to the left a little bit, so the outside, and feel how just like that inch, right, that inch to the left or inch and a half to the left, this micro movement has an effect in the different parts of your hamstring. And if your foot is shaking, that's fine because actually that means your fascia is probably or is releasing. So that's good. And inhale your leg back to the center. Exhaling, bringing your foot into the right. Again, just a skoshi, just a little bit. And if you want a more intense stretch, then you can always flex your foot. That will definitely add intensity. Inhaling your leg back to the center. Again, maybe feeling into your psoas here. Beautiful. Bend your left knee. Go ahead and place your strap to the side and grab a hold of your left knee. So hug your left knee. Again, maybe it's out to the side more or in, wherever your hip flexor wants to let you go. And this is also helpful if you have some knee issues. And exhale, release. So bring both of your knees to a place where they're bent, or bend both of your knees. So many words. And allow yourself to focus on the pressure of the block on your sacrum. This is a place that's often associated with joy, fertility, creativity. And I often like to ask or invite people to ask themselves, while there's this block that is pressed up against the sacral space, maybe ask yourself, where would I like to be more creative, or how can I find more joy in my life? What can I do to bring more joy into my life? And on your next inhalation, go ahead and lift your hips and remove the block. And from here, we're going to come into like simple bridge. So you can either bring your hands by your side and then scooch your heels back to touch your fingertips. And then you can lift your pelvis here, right, or lift your hips here. Or if you want to shimmy your shoulders into your back, that's an option as well. So not necessary to shimmy, but I know some people like to, so go for what you want to do. Okay, and try and bring your knees in towards one another while we're here. And exhale, release. And then come on to your tippy toes. And inhale, bring your glutes up. And exhale, also massaging your spine. Bring your booty down. And then inhale, again on your toes, tippy toes, extend. And then exhale, bring our glutes down. Go ahead and cross your left leg over your right for a figure four. I said left leg over right, so I'll do that. Then you're gonna take your left arm through the opening and grab a hold of either your shin or the back of your leg. And you can flex your foot. So your left foot that's crossed over, I invite you to flex that. If you need more intensity in the stretch, this is really good, again, for your hips, your glutes, particularly your gluteus medius, and also your piriformis. And it can be a nice rehabilitative knee stretch too. So anytime when you're bringing your knee kind of into your chest, that's often associated with helping with that rehabilitation. which can be a very helpful thing for your patella in particular. Beautiful. Now bring your foot down, cross your left foot over your right, and then just allow your knees to cross over one another to come to the right. So you can look to the left for more of a stretch. Anytime we do twist, it is aiding in detoxification. So we're compressing our organs, right? And then we're opening this. It's like rinsing stuff out. And also for our spine, so it's a nice nervous system reset, gentle nervous system reset as well. Inhale your knees to center, uncross your left leg over your right, and then cross your right leg over your left or the opposite leg. Inhale your left leg up or the opposite leg. Go ahead and thread your right hand through. Grab a hold of the top of your shin or underneath. Flex your foot if that's your jam. And then let's just go ahead and breathe, allowing ourselves to feel our hips, our glutes, our piriformis. Beautiful. Bring your foot down, cross your right over your left, and then just allow your knees to drop to the left and look to the right. Inhaling our knees back to center. Go ahead and bring your knees in, and we're going to rock, do a few rocks up to a seated position where we started. And from here, you're going to bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana or cobbler pose or butterfly. And we're doing some hips and hamstrings. So from here, you can stay here, or you can reach your hands back and just lift your chest in order to help gently open up your hips, your hip flexors, right? And if you want, you can also bring your tush closer towards your feet. And if you want to bend or fold forward, that's also an option. So this is a wonderful stretch to get into your hip flexors. If you want an intensity in a different direction, just go ahead and inhale deeply, and hinging at your hips, go ahead and fold forward. Or if you can walk your hands out, or maybe you want to give your feet like a little extra massage, whatever you want to do. Go ahead and breathe into this. And inhale, walk your hands up. And we can either do another seated figure four, depending on where your knee's at. So you can bring one leg over, one knee over your right foot over your left, and extend your chest, so bring your arms to your side, and then just gently fold. Or if you want to come into cow face, you'll just extend this leg so that the right knee situates on top of the left knee, so you can bring your feet closer together. And again, you can just rub them, work on maybe those reflexology. Or you can extend your feet out so that it's almost like a straight line where your knees are situated on top of one another. Again, whatever your preference, flexibility, comfort is today. And then inhale your chest, and then exhale, just allow your chest gravity to gently welcome you down in order to get a really nice juicy stretch in our hips. Inhale your chest up. Go ahead and switch sides. You can tuck your right foot under. If you want to come into figure four, you may do so. And then just bring your hands behind you to lift your spine. Definitely can feel this a little bit in that IT and in your glutes. Or you can extend and fold forward here, or if you want to extend that into a little deeper, a deepening of hip stretch or a different variation for your body, you could go ahead and come into cow face. You can bring your feet towards your posterior, your booty, your glutes, whatever you want to call them, or you can extend your legs out almost like a line, right? And then inhale your chest up or back, cow face up, and then exhale, allow gravity to just invite you down to rest. Beautiful. Lock your fingertips up or bring your chest up. And then go ahead and gently swing your feet around. So we'll come into a tabletop position. Your hands are underneath. Your shoulders are underneath you, right? And you want to spread your fingertips. And really press into your hands. And then we're going to inhale for cow. And you can look up if you want or forward. It depends on preference. There are different theories with this. And then exhale, curve your back like a Halloween cat and hollow out your tummy. And then inhale, cow. Exhale, curve your back. And then inhale to neutral. We're going to just come down into a wide-legged child's pose. So transition here, bringing your head down. Okay. From here, you want your armpits to be off of the floor, and you want to be pressing into the palms or the beds of your hands. We're going to transition into Adho Mukha Svanasana or downward facing dog. But it can be very helpful when we're pressing into the floor. It can also, if you are coming up into this middle part of your hand, so not like down here, but in the fatty bed of your hand, that can help if you have wrist issues. So go ahead and press into your hands, spread your fingertips, allow your biceps to rotate and your triceps to rotate outward. So we're engaging these before we lift our hips. Okay, and then go ahead and tuck your toes underneath you and lift your hips to the ceiling. So we want to have like an upside down check mark where your back is extended. If you can get your heels to the ground, it's great. If not, go ahead and bend your knees so that you get this straight area in your arms and in your back. You don't want to be like leaning forward like this. Some people it looks like a like hunch plank of Notre Dame or something. And so really press into your arms and then suck in your tummy. Look at your belly button. And then bring your hip bone up towards the sky. Go ahead and pedal your feet and walk your dog. Right, get some movement. Maybe you want to move your hips side to side if that feels good. Do what feels right. And then lift. We're going to come into three-legged dog. Lift your right leg in the air like you just don't care. Come up onto your left toe, and then exhale, bring your heel down. Bend your right knee, and then open up your hip like a dog in a fire hydrant while your chest is still facing the mat. And then inhale your left leg or your right leg up, and we're going to gently invite our right leg to the left side of our mat, like a little twist. And then your chest is going to face forward. So we're still pressing into the palms of our hands. This can be a really nice IT stretch. You may also feel it in your hamstring. And then inhale your right leg up in the air. And we're going to come into pigeon. So we're going to gently invite. So exhale, knee to nose. And then invite our right leg in front of us. If you want to do 90 degrees, great. If your body doesn't allow you to do 90 degrees, that's fine too. Find the pigeon that's comfortable for you. And if you want a block or a book to help make a more comfortable pigeon for you, depending on your hip flexibility and your anatomical structure, right? Like we have basic anatomical, but we have differences in our anatomy as well, like in the structure and the length and so forth. And so anyways, if a blanket or a block is helpful, you go ahead and situate that underneath your posterior. Inhale your chest up, or you can bring it here as a pillow. And then exhale, fold forward. Also, you can put this under your knee too, if you have knee issues. Also, if you have knee issues, go ahead and flex this foot. It can protect your knee. And then sink down to whichever height is right for you. Maybe you want to do this. Allow yourself to breathe and feel your left hip or your right hip. And if there is any tension there, just allow yourself to bring in some oxygen and soften this space. Give it permission to soften if it wants to. And in, up, you can go ahead and take your back foot and just bring it in for a little bit of a quad stretch. And release. Come into downward facing dog. Okay. And then let's lift our left leg in the air. And go ahead and bend your left knee. Shake it maybe. And then open your left knee to the left like a dog and a fire hydrant. Very sophisticated. Again, with your hips still being squared, put your knee out. And then inhale deeply, extend into a three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. And then inhale, go ahead and invite your left leg through to pigeon. So if you want it to rest diagonally at bay, 90 degrees, right, wherever your body's at. Again, if you need a block or a blanket underneath your sits bone, I invite you to do that. And in respect, inhale your chest high, bringing in oxygen to our system, and then exhale, release, and just melt forward into our half pigeon or pigeon. And you can go ahead and flex your left foot if you want more protection for your knees. And 3 more really deep, nourishing breaths here. Beautiful. And then inhale, lift your chest. And I invite you to go ahead and grab your right foot and just come into a quad stretch, gentle quad stretch. Maybe smile. Okay, go ahead and release your foot. Come into a plank. And make sure that our humerus, so the long part of our arm, is aligned with our rotator cuff. And then exhale, bend at 90 for chaturanga, and then sweep through to come into an upward facing dog. So the tops of your feet are on the mat and your thighs are off the mat. And then exhale, child's pose. And we'll come into Ashtanga Namaskar, sorry. And so we're gonna just inhale on our inhalation, we're gonna slither like a snake. So knees, chest, chin into an upward, or sorry, a baby cobra. So you'll bring your elbows into your rib cage, and you're lifting with your chest or your heart and your back, not, but you can use your arms. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and inhale your right leg up, and exhale, bring your right leg in between your hands, so your hands are bookmarking your right leg. And then we'll come up for a crescent lunge. Okay. And then our left hand is going to rest right by our left inner foot. We're just gonna lift our arm up or twist a little bit. Look up. And then from here, you're going to bookmark your foot, gently come onto your knee, so you can bring a towel or blanket underneath that. And we're gonna come into a half Hanumanasana or half split. So leave your foot grounded on the floor right now and bring her to the center. Bookmark your foot, and then go ahead and lift your heel. And instead of coming back, actually fall down and walk your fingertips forward. Bring your chest down. Be here for a few breaths. Beautiful. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, plank. Okay. Inhale deeply. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, our left leg in the air. Exhale, knee to nose. And then inhale, step your left foot forward. Again, 90-degree knee, really important. And then inhale for our crescent lunge. And you want to go ahead and bring your shoulder blades down your shoulders. Inhale deeply, and then as you exhale, go ahead and bring your right hand by your left foot, and you can always open up your knee. We don't want our knee to come in, we want it to be 90, and then open and look up. Inhale deeply, go ahead and bookmark your left foot. Gently bring your right knee down, and then extend your left leg, right? Walk your fingertips up your mat, and then go ahead and flex your left foot for a really nice hamstring stretch. You can go ahead and fold or melt forward. Inhale, low lunge. Oh dear. Okay. And then exhale, come into a plank. And from here, we'll just lower for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And roll on your back for Shavasana, our final resting position. said to be one of the most important positions in a practice, as it helps with the integration of everything. So find some stillness in your day. And place your left hand over your right and your right hand over your left. And allow yourself to connect with your initial intention. Really feel into that. Breathe that in and allow the sound of the singing bowl to seal this in symbolically. Beautiful. Extend your arms and legs. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. If you want to stay in a more relaxed position, you can come into the fetal position on your left, which is associated with the feminine. If you want a more active position, roll to the fetal position on your right. Press yourself up and come to a position where we started, either Sukhasana or whatever. Close your eyes and come within. Again, bring your thumb to your chest, just really connecting and recommitting. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. If namaste is not in your practice, again, have a wonderful week, a beautiful day. Take care of yourself. If you don't know what it means, consciousness within me recognizes that within you and honors that within you. And to everyone, I say to you, namaste. Thank you so much, everyone.